Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Anime Chat with me, your host, Pop. And it's a new year, a new month, and that means a new theme. And the theme of January is going to be 80's anime. That's right. We're going to go back in time and have a look at some of those awesome 80's shows. Some iconic, some not so well known. But we'll have a look and see what makes them so enjoyable. But that will be only after we go through the news of the week and our rankings. Then we'll get to the main event. And finally, we'll go over what shows I'm watching in the winter season. And I see some have dropped already, so I've got some catching up to do. All right, well, let's get to the news here. Here we go. Courtesy of the Anime News Network. We're going to start out on Monday. Grand Blue Fantasy game gets Steam release outside Japan on March 10th. The Moon on a Rainy Night TV anime reveals visual and main staff. Hey, what's up, Clifton? How you doing? Nice to see you stopping by here. We're just going to go through the news of the week. We get caught up on stuff. Netflix to also stream Shiboyugi playing death games to put food on the table anime outside of Japan. This sounds like Hunger Games, the anime. I'm just saying. That's what it sounds like to me. It might not be that, but it's the premise sounds like it. Okay, well that was a short news day for Monday. Let's move on to Tuesday. Chitose is in the Ramoon Bottle anime airs episodes 11 to 13 in spring, following delays. That's what I'm watching, and I wondered why it was taking so long for episodes to get released here, but yeah, they've got some delays going on. They'll get caught up on it. The Japanese streaming service Abima launches project for indie animators. Well, that sounds good. If you're an indie animator in Japan, you can get onto this streaming service. That's how they find out new talent and such, I'm sure. And look and see all these aspiring animators. Needy streamer Overload creators announce new visual novel. We're going to skip by North American anime and manga releases just because it takes up a lot of time. Silent Hill producer Motoi Okamoto announces plans to release games annually. Well, that's great for all you Silent Hill fans out there. So they're going to release games annually. You might get Silent Hill burnout, though, if they keep releasing one every year. Oh, and that's it for Tuesday. All right. Moving along to Wednesday. Chainsaw Man, the movie Reize arc, tops 10 billion yen in Japan. The film sold 6.55 million tickets in 103 days. Wow, that is a lot. Okay, I'm not a big Chainsaw Man fan, but it seems to be doing well. People seem to like it. You're doing well? Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Just on the tail end of a bit of a cold, but I'm getting through. You got a few great announcements today too. All right, I know we're looking forward to that, eh? Right on. Let's see here. First, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle film tops Japan's box office in 2025. Okay. Kaguya-sama, Love is War anime gets new finale film. Okay, so that's ending then, if it's a finale film. Ahare Misaku-kun franchise announces new anime in 2026. I've never heard of this one. Looks like it might be made for kids. The fifth Be Forever Yamato Rebel 3199 film unveils main visual and trailer. I like me some Yamato. I really got to catch up on the newest ones here. Histoire manga gets TV anime by Liden Films. Okay. I don't think I've heard of Histoire before, but or History. No, that was Wednesday. Moving along to Thursday. Crunchyroll streams Kaguya-sama Love is War anime special. Chainsaw Man anime film drops to number 8. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle drops to number 10. That's over in Japan. Amazon Prime Video to stream The Darwin Incident anime in North America. Okay, so you're going to have Amazon Prime to get The Darwin Incident. That looks like a weird one, though. You got it looks like a monkey-human hybrid. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be watching that one. Probably not. Aniplex USA reveals Fate Strange Fake Anime's English dubcast. Anime production company Infinite produces Noto Peninsula Reconstruction Project short animated videos. Looks like they're doing it for a good cause. The company is to donate videos revenues for 2024 quake hit areas reconstruction efforts. That's good of them to do that. SA's Maki Minami draws manga adaptation of Yoko Kamio and Wit Studios' Love Through a Prism anime. That's prism, not a prison. One reflects light, the other is where you go if you do bad things. And that's all for Thursday. Move along to Friday. Crunchyroll reveals English dubcast, same-day release for Sentenced to Be a Hero anime. I believe that's one of the ones I have to catch up on. Hanakimi TV anime reveals same-day English dub debut cast. There's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless sequel anime streams with English subtitles on YouTube. Okay. That's a good way to get your free anime is check if it's on YouTube. Tubi ads Sugar Sugar Rune anime. All 51 episodes. And subbed. Tubi. Tubi is also another great place a free place to go and get some anime. I think we watched season 1 of One Punch Man on Tubi. New Magical Girl Lyrical Nanohana TV anime premieres in July. Oh, it's the franchise's 20th anniversary. All right. Whew. 20th anniversary already. Some more Nanohana news. Magical Girl Lyrical Nanohana exceeds Gunblaze Vengeance. Reveals main cast and promo video. It's going to debut in July of 2026. That's it for Friday. Move along to Saturday. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle film ranks as number 7 film worldwide in 2025. That's unbelievable. That's not just Japanese box office or North American box office. That's worldwide. Number 7. Good for you, Demon Slayer. Love Through a Prism anime's sneak peek video introduces Academy. Oh, I see a Netflix banner here. Might be just, yeah, Netflix began streaming a sneak peek on Saturday. Netflix. Used to be good, now they're not. That's moving along to Sunday. Today, looks like a lot of news today. True performs theme for Sound Euphonium, the final movie part 1 anime. Oh, just pardon me one moment. Alright, sorry about that. I Became a Legend after my 10-year-long Last Stand anime unveils more cast, staff, and an April debut in teaser video. I Lost My Adventures License light novels get TV anime. The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten Season 2 debuts on April the 3rd. Tune in to the Midnight Heart anime cast Yuki Wakai and Nao Toyama. Oh, the Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows anime gets 2nd season. I watched the 1st season of this and it was great. It's about this guy who just doesn't want any accolades, or he just wants to live a quiet life, but he's a healer. So he heals the downtrodden, the people that have a hard time, and he is exceptional. He is like an S-class healer, but nobody knows about him. Or, people keep wondering what's going on, who's healing these people, and he does phenomenal work. So watching the 2nd season, that should be pretty good. I'll add that to my list for sure. Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elena light novels get new anime film. Oh, so it's going to be a film. Like they mean a movie? Okay. Love Unseen Beneath the Clear Night Sky TV anime teaser unveils cast, staff, and a July debut. And that looks like that's all for the news of the week. No video games or TV rankings. So they'll either come out today or we'll have to wait till next week to get the video game rankings. I know everybody likes those. I like to see which games are doing well in Japan. For the longest time, it's still Mario Kart World for the Switch 2. And Nintendo usually dominates those lists. And here's the top news here, and we've covered all this. Well, all right, let's head over to the rankings here. Okay, this only has the rankings for the shows that were for the fall season. And it looks like MHA is at number 1, with Fragrant Flower coming in at number 2, Musume, Spy Fam, Tojima. A lot of people like Tojima. I've been hearing good things about it. Sanda, One Piece, Gachiakuda. Yeah, Gachiakuda was alright. I liked it. Ranma. Really? Ranma's up there? Okay. Mangaka's Weird Wonderful Workplace. I don't think it should be that high. They asked for one final thing. Last episode was very disappointing of that one. What else we got here? Going down here. Gintama. Past the monster meat. Yeah. Mechanical Marie. Ganosia. Yeah, Ganosia was just not that great. Solo camping for 2. That was a quiet one. We learned how to camp, and it was a little bit of romance there. One Punch Man, I shouldn't be surprised it's down there. A lot of people did not like season 3 just because of the animation quality. All right, well, that's it for the fall. Let's have a look at a place where we know people are watching the most recent stuff, and it's also has numbers to go with it. Top anime, number 1, Sentenced to be a Hero. Look at that. One Piece at number 2, Gachikuta at number 3. Demon Slayer the movie at number 4. One Punch Man season 3 is at number 5. Jack of all trades party at none. Then Bleach of all things. Okay. Naruto Shippuden. People are still watching that. Level 99.99 Gotcha. That's good to see people are still watching that one. That's one I really enjoyed. And Status as an Assassin as number 10. Okay. I've watched quite a few of these, and yeah, I don't disagree with the rankings. Not bad. Nope. Yep. There we go. That's it there. Top 10. Well, I think it's about time we move along to the main event. Hope you're ready. I've prepared 3 shows today from the 1980s. Ones that I hope you've heard of, and maybe if there's some you haven't heard of, you'll give them a watch. Okay, let me get prepped here. Do this and this. The first one is one that came out right at 1980. But it wasn't the first time it was ever seen. This guy is from the 1960s. And he's very popular. You'll definitely know who I'm talking about. And it's Astro Boy. So back in 1963, Astro Boy was released. And it was a big hit. Everybody liked it. It was in black and white. And made by Osamu Tezuka, of course. And then in the 80s, they decided to do it again. In color. And this one was the one that a lot of us got exposed to because it was brought over to fill in the animation gap that they had. So here you've got the little intro they give you about how a scientist put together the ultimate robot. And you can see there, created by Osamu Tezuka. They didn't use a Z, they used an S for Tezuka in production. But alright. And this is actually, this is the Canadian version, believe it or not. Canadian production via Le Monde. So Le Monde is the world. So we've got him just performing acts of bravery and saving people because he's a hero. And the title of this one is Astro Fights Aliens. So this takes place in space, where he's helping out. They're building a long-distance rocket ship to go to Mars. It's the second expedition there. And this fella in the beard, he wants to put Astro in charge. He wants to make him the captain of the expedition. So they're getting stuff ready. Astro fights aliens, and that's what they did for the titles. So there's the ship. There he is. He's got his little suit on, as he's the captain of the ship. This guy, he's the lieutenant, and he objects to the fact that Astro Boy is the captain of the ship. And he lets this guy know. The guy's like, I'm busy. Deal with, just get out of here. I don't even want to hear it from you. So they gather everyone, and he gives the speech. A little pep talk before everything launches. Things are getting ready. Astro notices that the compass they use is off by 1,000th of a degree. And the lieutenant's like, no, it's not. It can't be. There's no. And then the corporal there is like, oh yeah, it is. It's off by 1,000th of a degree. So obviously that makes the lieutenant angry at Astro. Astro gets called because there's a stowaway. You've got a stowaway on the ship. So what do we do? He's like, well, we got to get her off here, but it's too late. The ship is launching. You got 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and boom, gone. Turns out she wants to go to Mars to find her brother who was left behind. She gives Astro a diary that her brother wrote, saying that terrible things are going to happen. There it is there. He also describes of the alien ships that are hostile towards the humans. But nobody's taking him seriously. So, funny enough, one of those attaches itself to the ship that they're on right now. So Astro's like, I better go out there and take a look. And Lieutenant, can you do me a favor and grab me a fresh battery? Because apparently Astro runs on batteries. So, being the spiteful person that he is, he decides to give Astro a dead battery. Because, that's almost murder, I think. Almost. So Astro goes out there, peels this thing off the ship. He finds that he can't go any further. He's running out of power. So he takes refuge on the alien ship. He's like, I better do something about this. So he goes inside, sees an alien holding a weapon, takes it away from him. I think the alien is not alive anymore. Walks his way towards a power source, and wouldn't you know it, the gun that he's got there acts as a conductor and helps charge up, because he's touching it. It charges up his battery. So he takes his battery out, puts it against that thing, and he's like, look at that. I'm going to get fully recharged. Just a moment. This congestion is just killing me. All right. So, fully charged. Astro heads back. The lieutenant doesn't know it yet, so he's like, well, unfortunately, we lost the captain out in space, and I'm going to be the captain now. Until one of the guys comes in and says, hey, the captain's back. If only recharging your battery as a human was that easy. Yeah, you betcha. How you doing, Godzillionaire? I was wondering if you're going to stop by or not. Hoping you're having fun with Gunbuster. Another classic 80s anime. I can't sing its praises enough, to tell you the truth. And everybody's happy to see Astro back. They're like, oh, wow, good, you made it. There's the alien. He puts on his captain's suit. And look at this guy just giving him the death glare. Like, just follow the chain of command. Don't, You got 2 episodes of Gunbuster left? All right. Yeah, it's only 6 episodes long. For those people that don't know, Gunbuster is just 6 episodes, and it's done by Studio Gainax. So you are in for a real treat if you sit down and watch those. Okay, so they're heading over to Mars. They send out a little scouting ship. Astro's helping. Then he hears a distress call. And wouldn't you know it, it's that girl's brother. He is battling the hostile aliens. Look at this. So Astro tries to help out a bit. He tries to get a hold of the ship to tell the lieutenant he's got to take cover because there's aliens. And the lieutenant's like, nah, I got work to do. Don't bother me. Well, some people have to learn the hard way. Because there goes the fleet of aliens over to where the lieutenant is. Right there at the base. And wouldn't you know it, he gets a report from one of the guys that they're under attack by aliens. So Astro leaps into action, of course. Starts taking down enemy ships. He got blasted though, so he makes a hard landing on the ground. It's rough going. He needs a battery, so he asks the lieutenant to get him a battery. He's like, "Yep, no problem." So this has been edited. Obviously, they brought it over. They've dubbed it in. They edited it. They cut pieces out, and I could tell right away. There's one alien ship left. Astro can't fly. This guy is in a ship. He's gonna ram the thing. However, the way they play it off in the story here is, oh no, look out! You're not flying high enough. Watch out! And then boom, it's an accident. He flies into the. But we know that because he wanted to make up for the stupid things he did, he ran into that spaceship. And yes, there's the smoking wreckage of his plane where he's saluting it. And then they always did this little thing at the end where Astro would come in and talk to this computer and give it a summary of what he did that episode. this is not, this is just, they did this in the English version. This is not something they did in the Japanese version at all. But this would fill up any time that they had for cutting out other pieces to clean it up for Western audiences or Western sensibilities at the time. So, yeah, he goes over, he just summarizes the whole story. And then it's the end. So there you go. The first show of the 80s. Astro Boy. Butchered a bit, edited, cleaned up. But that's how they did it back then. When you brought stuff over, you're like, well, we can't show that. No, broadcast standards won't let us show that. All right, let's move along to the second one. Let me see here. I've got it written down on my list. Oh, yeah. Okay. This one, not so well known, but you have heard of it. Some of you may have heard of it before. This one's called Kinnikuman, or Ultimate Muscle. So yeah, Kinnikuman, all about wrestling. There he is there, our hero. This show does not take itself seriously at all. It's a comedy, of course. Here we are in Japan. Apparently these guys are the Gyudon group. They meet to enjoy gyudon. And Kinnikuman is the president of the club. And that's all they do. They eat gyudon and they wrestle. However, there is another flying saucer who is monitoring this. And I believe he is from the planet Kinniku. So, as usual, what we've seen from Close Encounters and all that, the aliens play music, the humans play music. Kinnikuman is playing music back to the alien ship. The ship's playing music. We wouldn't know it, but they're playing a famous children's song by Ishihara Kazuburo. So anybody that was Japanese or grew up during that time would probably know this tune. Anyway, I do like how they explain. Western localizers could learn from this or subtitle. If you just put up little notes like this, then it's very helpful to the viewer, and it doesn't cost a lot. It's just a little bit of typing. So, apparently, this is Kinnikuman's brother. And Kinnikuman is a prince? This is news to him. He's like, I don't need to be a prince. I just like gyudon. So it has to be explained to get through his thick head that he's the prince of the planet Kinniku. And they explain his backstory, how he got to Earth. His mother and father, the king and queen, were on a holiday to Earth with the newly born prince. When they suddenly see a pig on top of their baby. And so they throw the baby out. The dad mistook the baby as a pig, and they kept the pig. And that was 20 years ago. So he fell to Earth and landed in Japan. Kind of like Superman. They're getting really technical as to, how the clan that he belongs to is not just heroes, they're superheroes. He's like, you can prove it by just having a mark like I do. It's like, oh, where's this mark? Maybe it's hidden somewhere. And the old fella looks with his pipe, but he puts the hot ash in there. And of course, that's the reaction of Kinnikuman. They found it. It's on his butt cheek. And he wants to take him back home to planet Kinniku. But he's like, I have a job to finish. And I have to, as a man, I must finish my job. And what is that job? I think it's advertising for a cabaret. So he's going to try to convince him. And how they're going to do it is, Kinnikuman has to take on this guy, Guriki, who looks like the Hulk with pink hair. And if Kinnikuman wins, he can do whatever he wants. If he loses, he has to go back to planet Kinniku. And here we are. We got our announcer. Kinnikuman versus Guriki. He's not doing so well. Until he uses Kinniku Beam. Now he's being crushed. This was the same move this guy used to snap the spine of Anad the Giant. Or Andre. Probably Andre the Giant. Oh, will you look at that? Been a while since I've had a spammer. Oh well. Look at that. He's getting crushed. Looks like he'll be coming home with me, but he makes such funny faces. Guriki can't keep his composure. So Kinnikuman wins. Next up, the man from America. So over in the Diet, which is the Japanese House of Congress, I think they're having a debate. Between who is the stronger wrestler. So, but there's a giant monster attack, and it's the perfect chance for him. Except he wants to stay and he wants to eat more gyudon. Well, Kinnikuman just can't catch a break, though. But here comes a real American hero. How can I tell? He's got a cowboy hat and a gun. He's Terryman from Texas, USA. So he saved everybody, and then he hands over an invoice so that he can get paid. So of course Kinnikuman's gonna be jealous of Terryman. They say he looks good even when he's out eating a hot dog. The fans crowd around him. Yes, Godzilla, American hero. I use my power of GUN. However, when Kinnikuman is dressed up and eating, he terrifies people. All he can do is sit there and eat away his troubles. The people of Japan have voted for Terryman to be their sole superhero. He even gets a badge. See? It's a hero badge. You just go back to eating gyudon all day instead. Oh, well, also we have a little kid needs his father saved. But he came to ask Kinnikuman because he didn't have money. Because Terryman wants money. Oh man, this thing is huge, and Kinnikuman's got to do something to beat it. So he eats, of all things, I believe he eats garlic. He eats garlic. And he grows. Now he's taking on the monster. And I believe he beats him, finally. And Terryman goes to help. And it looks like it's a happy ending for everyone. So that was the first episode. In the next episode, the target is Nessie. So they're gonna find out the Loch Ness monster and save Planet Kinniku. All right. So that was Kinnikuman. Very silly. Good for a laugh, for sure. And I know they brought it over and called it Ultimate Muscle, but it might have been the later ones. Like I say, this one is from 1983. So I'm pretty sure there was one done after that. But that is Kinnikuman. I've got one more. One that I just watched this morning. And I'll tell you right now, I was not disappointed. You must have heard of this before. But this is the Dirty Pair. And I'll tell you right now, you want like balls to the wall, full throttle action, this is the show to watch. It's just, it blows me away. It was non-stop action in this show. And this is only the first episode, like right out of the gate. We've got the opening theme, which I believe is called Russian Roulette. You've got your two heroines, Yuri and Kay. There we are. It's Yuri and Kay. There we go. And they give very little backstory here. 20 years since the development of warp travel. Eleanor City's environment and its 5 million inhabitants are controlled by one of these computers. And its name is Brian. So, computer is called Brian. Dirty Pair sounds like a seedy Japanese vending machine, which they have. You know that. You can get anything from a vending machine. Probably buy a Dirty Pair if you like. But this isn't that. This is the girls that bring a new name to the word destruction. It's okay, so Brian's gone crazy, it looks like. In both their apartments, things are going wrong. And they give you a little rundown. So, Kay, she's 19. She's a WWA trouble consultant. Codename Lovely Angel. Date of birth and all that. Blood type. No, it's not Brain, it's Brian. They call him Brian. So it's roasting in her apartment. In Yuri's, it's absolutely cold. Oh, we got her stats as well. Once again, she's a trouble consultant. She's Lovely Angel. That's the code name. And look in the background there on the monitor. It's got William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, James Doohan, Walter Koenig, George Takei, Nichelle Nichols. Somebody's watching Star Trek, or somebody's a Star Trek fan on Dirty Pair. I thought that was pretty good. But they know right away the main computer, Brian, is malfunctioning. So, they know what they have to do. They got to take down the computer. Thus, the title of How to Kill a Computer. And the malfunctioning is happening everywhere. The people in charge are trying to use a special box to defeat Brian, but it doesn't work. So Yuri and Kay have to make their way to the computer core. With everything going crazy. There's panic everywhere. And you've got facial recognition back in the day. Because Brian recognized the girls in the crowd. He knows who they are. So in the crowd that are lined up in front of the door, they're like, this is who we are. We're from 3WA. Everybody's like, we don't know who you are. So apparently the door opens, flooding. Ground is cracking. Yuri and Kay are trying to get away. They hop in an elevator that they hotwired. And they push down. She pushes down, but they go up at an incredible rate of speed. Okay, at least one of the security guys is like, hey, it's you guys. Okay, we're going to help you out. They call them the Dirty Pair. They don't like that nickname, by the way. Yuri and Kay don't like being called the Dirty Pair. So they're like, okay, take us to the computer room. He's like, okay, we can drop you off there, until Brian decides to smash that security car. Well, those guys are gone. So much for help. But they have a plan. They're going to get their pet here, Moogie, to bring a ship to them, I believe. And of course, everything is out to get them. Lots of shooting. And you got this thing cutting through the pipe they're on. And it falls. But at least Yuri's prepared. She brought a parachute. They're starting to fall. It's only meant for one person, but there's two of them on there, so they're falling pretty fast. They got to make their way over to where there's a lot of parked cars. And they make a hard landing. So down they go. They were able to ditch that car and make it into the passageway as they're just barely hanging on. Brian is communicating with their robot. And they find out the reason. Brian figures humankind has betrayed him. He thought he managed all the systems, but there was one that was kind of sequestered away from him. So he's gonna get revenge. So Yuri and Kay, they have their little ship. They're like, aim the laser at the coldest spot, because that's the core and it's got to be cooled. So they're going to shoot. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, shoot. Shoot. There we go. However, Brian is smart enough. He used a mirror to reflect the laser up through the building. So that didn't work. Except it caused more damage, more chaos. So Kay is going to ask him something. Which one of them has more sex appeal? That's to keep him busy. And while they're keeping him busy, they call up the warp terminal. Okay, this ought to be okay. And they're like, do you have anything to warp over here? Yes, they've got a ship. A derelict scrap ship. Okay, then warp it over here. Warp it to these coordinates. Like, okay. And here we go. The ship. It gets warped into the computer core. And that finally brings Brian down. But of course, as usual, they live up to their name. They've made a complete mess. Lots of damage. And there it is. There's the ship that was warped right into the core. And once again, this is a fun show to watch. Dirty Pair. Highly recommended. Very, very good action. It's cheeky. You've got lots of little jabs at each other and quips. It was I would say it's a highly recommended show. You're going to enjoy the Dirty Pair. If you like action, you're definitely going to get a lot of it watching Dirty Pair. And then here's the outro. It's driving along the space highway. And then the preview for the next episode. And they didn't translate it, so I don't know what it is. But you can always find out. Do yourself a favor, watch some Dirty Pair. And Dirty Pair was from, where was that from? 1985. 1985. Enjoy some mid-80s anime with the Dirty Pair. And those are the 3 shows I've got for you today. First one was Astro Boy from 1980. Second was Kinnikuman from 1983. And the third one was Dirty Pair. Finally, we'll take a look at anime for this season. And what do we have here? Okay. Winter 2026. First one that's come out is Sentenced to Be a Hero, but I have not gotten to that yet. I've only got 10 on the list. This is a very small list this time. I've really cracked down on being picky about what shows I'm going to put my time into. And out of these ones, I'm sure I could drop some too if they are just not fun to watch. The Misanthrope Teaches a Class for Demi-Humans. Chain Soldier Season 2, that's a must-watch, that one. Hell Mode, The Hardcore Gamer. Kunon the Sorcerer Can See, reincarnated as a dragon hatchling. Sentenced to Be a Hero. Holy Grail Heiress. There's Cute Girl in Heroes Party. Tune Into the Midnight Heart. And Yoroi Shinden Samurai Troopers. Yes, indeed, Samurai Troopers back. So I'll give that a watch. But right now, the only ones, what's gotten out so far? Okay, so Sentenced to Be a Hero has already put a episode out, and 2 episodes behind Kunon the Sorcerer. Okay, 2 behind. How could I be 2 behind already? Okay. They must have started fairly early. All right, no problem. No problem. I'll catch up in a bunch of other ones. As for the dinner anime, which is the anime that me and Mrs. Mechanic watch while we're having our dinner, it's My Hero Academia Season 7. I'm hyped. We're gonna watch that to completion. We've got both DVD parts, part 1 and part 2. So I am pretty excited about getting through that, and then we can do the final season, which will be great. Be able to catch up here. But yes, I'm sure you guys are watching some of these now. I've got to finish up Chicktosi and the Maroon Bottle, but we saw that they were having a hard time with them being delayed. But I'll finish that up. That's from last season. Yeah, and that's about it there for the shows. Not much to report on because I haven't watched any new ones yet, but I'll have a report next week. I'll tell you what I think of these shows. In the meantime, don't forget, you guys, watch some anime. Watch some 80's anime. Maybe the ones I suggested today. Maybe you've got some other ones you thought of that you want to get to. I'm interested to know. Don't forget, hey, if you can, hit that like button. If you haven't already, it sure helps me out. Depending on which platform you're on, I stream on 4 platforms: YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and Kick. So pick your platform, whatever you like the best, whatever is more convenient. But all I ask is a little bit of a click on the thumbs up, just so it helps me out. I believe that's going to be it for me for today. Pretty quick show. Haven't really watched a lot, so pretty quick show. I want to wrap things up here. I want to thank you for coming out. People like Clifton. Nice to see you show up there, Clifton. Appreciate that. Godzillionaire, of course. Anybody else that was lurking and listening, I appreciate you hanging out. Make sure you spread the word. Let everybody know I'm here. Tell your friends. I usually do the weekend morning streams and Tuesday evenings. When I'm not on, though, you can take a look at some of these other streamers there, like Pacific 404 or DJ Ronnie G, Brandon the Anime Guy, Carl at the RNG Podcast, whose show I will be on Thursday the 8th, where you're going to talk about the console called the Intellivision. Having owned one and played one, it was quite the step up from the Atari. But if you want to tune in and listen to all the Intellivision goodness we're going to talk about, tune in on Thursday. I will have a link for you guys later on. You can also tune in to Infinite Metal over on Kick and Twitch, or Call Me Kixie, who's a great VTuber over on Twitch and on YouTube, I saw as well. She's very family friendly. She's got a lot of indie games to show. She showcases a lot of those, and she'll make you feel right at home. But coming up for me on Tuesday, Trades Talk Tuesday, stop on by. We'll look at things from an industrial point of view. I'll be back at work. I'll probably have some pictures and videos to show you some of the projects I'm working on. It's the start of a new year. It's time to put the nose to the grindstone and just head down and, work. Hey, it's Alex. How you doing, Alex? Nice to see you. Yeah, that's happening on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. If you're interested in this skilled trades, stop on by. We'll definitely talk about it. Then coming up on Saturday is Retro Game Day. I've started the second half of Odin Sphere. Apparently now I look like a bunny, and I'm trying to get changed back to my human form. So that was quite the surprise I didn't see coming. So come on by on Saturday morning and you can see where this game is going with this. And then after that, Sunday, more 80s anime, of course. The whole theme of January is 80s anime. I'm going to have more shows to go over. We're going to have a good time. They were such good shows back then. Very enjoyable. As you saw from today's preview, like, you're definitely going to have a good time watching those 80s anime shows. Because that's what we're doing for the whole month. All right. Well, I had a fun time today. I hope you guys did as well. I appreciate you coming out. And I hope to see you guys the next time I'm streaming, which will be on Tuesday or the weekends. But until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.